As I mentioned, as part of the work program of the task force, we will set up a multi-stakeholder workshop in 2023. One of the reasons is because our last multi-stakeholder workshop took place in November 2018, so it was a long time ago. So I think it's timely for us to have a new workshop. So as I said, it is organized by the task force, and it's one of the activities in its work program. Now, there were a number of activities or initiatives that we will take into consideration. Of course, as I mentioned, and we've discussed here at length, the European Medicines Agency's network strategy to 2025, which is the basis of the work program of the task force, and we will focus the discussions on the activities of the task force. Of course, we cannot forget COVID-19 pandemic and EMA's new mandate, and actually came into force in March of this year. So EMA's reinforced role when it comes to shortages of medicines. And then also, as we mentioned, an update structure of the task force that we presented to you. So what we propose is to have a task force early next year in March. So if we go to the next slide, what is the aim of this task force? So as we've discussed already, there are a number of initiatives ongoing at the moment in the area of shortages and availability of medicines. The joint action of shortage was mentioned, the EC Pharma strategy, EMA's new extended mandate. So we want to have that clear a clear picture of how that all fits in together, and we want to bring that to all stakeholders during the task force. And then we want to clarify the roles and activities. I think we also need to bring in, as already mentioned, HERA to the picture and have that as part of that slide that we will, of course, discuss and present with further details during the workshop. But we need to also use this task force to gather feedback and take stock of the progress that is made at the level of the task force and these other activities as well that we mentioned that are ongoing in the network, all related to availability. And last but not least, and very important, discuss the way forward. So what should the task force focus its activities after the multi-stakeholder workshop? In terms of dates, so it will take place on the 1st and 2nd of March. So we have a 1.5 day planned for this task force, and this will be followed by a meeting of this working party on the 3rd of March. In terms of audience, so we want both human and veterinary stakeholders, and here all stakeholders in the supply chain will be involved in the multi-stakeholder workshop. It will be by invitation only, but we plan to live broadcast and record the workshop. Next slide, please. So we've put already together a preliminary draft agenda for the task force. So on day 1, we will start just after lunch, and we have that first session where we want to set the scene. So providing that a bigger picture on all the various activities that are currently ongoing within EMA, national competent authorities, and the European Commission. And then this will be followed by 2 breakout sessions. So there will be 1 breakout session with veterinary stakeholders, and there will be 1 breakout session on the immunoglobulins. So a sort of a case study type approach for this session. And then on day 2, on the 2nd of March, then we will have the session 3, where we will gather feedback and take stock of progress, as I mentioned. So first of all, we will start with the reporting from the breakout sessions that take place the day before. And then we'll go through the task force's work plan and discuss a number of elements or initiatives being developed. So, as we mentioned already, the best practice for industry on prevention and management of shortages, NCA communication activities, shortage reporting from EU patients, consumers, and healthcare professionals organizations. And then contributions from stakeholders, so from you as well. And session 4 will be, as I mentioned, where we go next. So discuss work ahead. So this is the plan so far. So what we would like from you today is, first of all, comments on the proposed scope and the objectives of the workshop. What you think are the priorities that we need to consider when we now draft in detail the agenda for the meeting, and also what are your expectations and potential contributions. So we really want your input. We've done a similar exercise already with industry associations when we had a meeting of the steering committee of the task force on the 12th of September. So we ask you for your input to build further the agenda for the meeting, and that's why we're here today. Thank you.